Good evening YouTube. So I'm back here with another video, and I know I'm a bit late here with this video, but today we are taking a look at Kallana here, the new hero that we have just gotten this Friday. Today is Saturday, so okay, maybe it's only a day, but you've still maybe seen other content creators doing videos on her, but I'm going to do my take on her as well, just to let you know if I think you should summon for this hero or if I think that she is skippable. Now, Kallana here is a very interesting hero. Let me just start out by saying that, and we can always discuss if it's worth it or not to summon for her, but let's just take a look at her kit. So on her basic attack here, the most important part here is the turn meter reduction here. This is primarily for PvP, and then once you exclusive 1 on her, what she'll actually do is every time she casts a skill, she'll also follow up with a full bloom, which is the basic attack. So basically, doesn't matter if she does her basic attack or any of her skills, she's always going to do the basic attack. And now the good thing about the basic attack is that it deals direct damage by 15% of her HP. And the point about being direct damage is very important because she has the poison mark here, which means that you can put the combat vanguard aura on her and actually have a 100% uptime. If she's faster than the boss and your damage dealers, then you'll have a 100% uptime on this combat vanguard or debuff, because she's going to use her direct damage ability all the time, so she'll have a 100% uptime on that. So that is very nice for PvE, especially early game and mid game and end game even. So yeah, any game basically. Poison team in general has a lot of heroes that are pure poison, like Giselle, Willa, Imakado. They don't do any direct damage, they only do poison damage, so you cannot use a combat vanguard on them. So the only other option I think is Magdi actually, because Penny also is poison damage. So I think Magdi is the one that she's going to replace in the poison PvE team for sure. Okay, that was just the basic attack. Now let's look at her skill 2 here. The skill 2 here grants all allies a flower bot effect here, which is considered a consolidation, so you cannot stack them to 80%, right? You can only have one of them. It's a unique buff, which means that it cannot be removed or stolen, which is nice. It's much better than being an attribute buff, right? And also she's going to heal a bit and cleanse all dot debuffs. Now with exclusive 2, she's also going to cleanse all control effects, and she'll give allies 15% turn meter as well. And that is very, very nice. Okay, so we're gonna go back and look at the exclusive in a minute here. Her passive effect here is it's good. It's very good actually. Let's look at it. So the thing here is, it says that if her speed is above 1000, which every hero at 150 is, I think. For every 1 point exceeding 1000, she gains 60 extra points of HP, which goes up to 80 points of HP, right? And I think the cap is like 160k HP. So basically, if you give her 3000 speed, which is a lot in early and mid game, I know that. But if you stack speed on her and get to 3000 speed, you will cap out of this one here. And 3000 speed, you will get 160k HP for free, which is good. She scales with HP, so it's good. It's nothing you have to like go crazy about, but if you can reach that 3000 threshold, then obviously you're getting the full benefit. Okay, now the important part here of the passive is actually the rest of it. When self takes damage from enemies proactively cast basic attack or skills, other allies will counter attack the caster once. That is huge, because that means in PvE for your poison team you have Willa with the counter attack buff, and you also have this passive from Kallana. Your poison team is going to counter attack a lot, and you have someone with very strong basic damage like Willa and Giselle, and those will just be doing a lot more attacks for free, right? Very nice. And also in PvP, it might be able to help if you put her into the Anse and Hanya team. So once she takes damage from, let's say, a Lydia or something like that, your Anse will counter attack immediately with his high crit damage basic attack, right? It's basically like having Hanya go first, but this time it's just from the passive from Kallana, right? Also, it says for every one ally with the poison tag deployed, increases all allies' poison damage dealt by 15%. So that goes up to 5 times 15, which is 75% poison damage actually. Because the ally, she's an ally as well, right? So 75% poison damage is huge also. And because we're removing Magdi from the PvE team, and he has that special toxic buff, I think it's also 60 or 80% poison damage, whatever. It's kind of trading it 1-for-1, right? So in that regard, nothing happens if you remove Magdi, right? But this Kallana here, she'll heal much better. She also has some more defensive buffs than Magdi, so for sure you can remove Magdi if you have Kallana, okay? Now, let's just go and take a look at her S4 here before we go to the passive. The S4 is pure poison damage, 20% of her HP. And the important part here is for PvE, it's going to be the deep poisoning debuff, this one here. 100% chance of inflicting deep poison debuff, which is quite good. I think Nita and also Magdi has this here. So for the poison team in PvE, when she replaces Magdi, you'll keep this poison debuff. That's very nice, okay? Now for PvP, this is kind of huge. And I say PvP because it doesn't work on bosses. You actually steal 8% of the speed from enemies when you cast this buff here. And I tested it, and I'll show you in the video here later on. But it's not 8% of her initial speed. It's 8% of the enemy's initial speed that she is stealing, okay? So the faster your enemy is in PvP, the more speed you actually steal and the more she gains, because she's gaining 20% of the stolen speed for 2 turns, okay? Now let's go look at her exclusives. We already talked about the first one, but there is some more we can talk about. And it is that with exclusive 1, once she casts either her S2 or her S4, doesn't matter in which order, she's also going to cast the other one for free for the first time, okay? So S2, and she'll cast S4. S4, she casts S2 for the first turn. That means the first 2 turns, she'll actually do 4 abilities or 4 casts, right? Because you do the S4 maybe, she'll do the S2, then you do the S2, and she'll do the S4. So very nice opening on her, I think. Also, her exclusive 2 here, also her S4 will be able to deduct 70% of current shield value of all shield owned by enemies, including unique shielding, okay? And it caps at 100% of her HP. That is why you want to build her for HP, because when you do the S4, you will remove 100% of her HP. So let's say you can get her to, I don't know, let's just say 1 million HP, okay? Then she's going to remove 1 million shield value, right? Okay, yeah, up to 70% of that. So if 1 million HP is, or shielding is more than the shield, she'll remove it, right? It also says that after anyone's turn starts, when an ally steals attributes from an enemy, she increases her turn meter by 10% and can only be triggered once in any turn. Once in any turn. So if you're stealing 2 times for some reason, she can steal only 10%. But it's very nice. Together with other attribute stealing heroes, she'll get a lot of free turn meter. Very nice, okay? Exclusive 3. For every one ally with the attribute Steal, tag deployed reduces all allies' basic attack damage and skill damage taken by 15%. So that goes up to 75% skill damage and basic damage reduction, right? That's huge. Very huge, actually. When 5 allies with the attribute Steal tag are deployed, Kallana and the ally with the highest initial attack gain flower protection, blocks all control effects. No duration, it's just permanent. She is going to be CC immune, and the target with the most attack will be CC immune. At the beginning of each wave, increases Kallana's turn meter by 30%, okay? So for the exclusive 3 here, because we don't really have 5 good heroes yet with attribute Steal tag, the 30% turn meter here is the important part on this exclusive 3. That is going to work regardless of whatever. So that's very nice. Make her faster in PvP and PvE. And then also for every tag deployed here with this one here, it's going to be 15%, right? And she is 1 tag herself, so you are going to get at minimum 15% skill damage and basic damage reduction just for having her exclusive 3 in the team. Then if you pair her with more like Nikki or Ansi, obviously it's going to be 15% more. Okay, so very, very, very nice hero. I think we should try and test her out in the trial arena. I know trial arena is not the best place to showcase, but I just want to showcase like what I find very nice on her. Okay, so the most like, I was reading her kit and I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. But then I noticed something yesterday here, is that her abilities, both the S2 and the S4, actually only have a 2-turn cooldown. But the consolidation bot, Flower bot, he has a 3-turn duration. So it means that you have pretty much 100% uptime actually on this consolidation buff here. Because yeah, 2-turn cooldown says something, right? It's not it's very fast. So, and it's the same with S4 here. So she kind of be cycling between S2 and S4 all the time. We can see it here. See, S2, S4, and let's see, S2, S4. And you can see here, so she just cycles between them and keeps them on cooldown here. She almost never uses her basic attack, but because of her exclusive 1, then she's also using the basic attack when she does S2 and S4, right? So that is great actually, that is quite huge. That's quite huge. And let me just try and make a team and I'll show you where I would use her. Okay, so I'm back here and I've just put in my classic arena team on the defense and on the offense, and then I switched my Erato for the Kallana, and I've just synced my stats, so the stats are the stats that I have on my team. Obviously there are no pets here, there are no Arcane Gem, there are no auras, and this is why we should always take testing in trial arena with a grain of salt, right? So if you see other content creators basing their views or opinions on a new hero from trial arena alone, then you should probably consider if you want to subscribe to that person, or if you want to see someone like me who is actually going to give you some like better information based on actual testing of the heroes. So I'll be doing a video later where I'm actually testing the hero and actually showing you in real time in combat. Okay, but this is just to kind of showcase and show you a little bit of what is going on here. Okay, so I had to do Apsara 1 speed faster than the other Apsara because on defense, if you have the same speed, then the defender always goes first. I'm assuming my Apsara will be the fastest, so that is why I gave it 1 more speed. Okay, so you'll start with something like the S4 here on Apsara, and after that it goes like this here. You can see counter attacking going on. We'll do this here from Nikki, and now you can see that Kallana here is the third one to take her turn in a minute. Here we go. So basically all the counter attacks you just saw there from my team is because of Kallana's counter attack in her passive. Because of like Nikki, Apsara counter attacking, then you are counter attacking back. So a lot of counter attacking goes like both ways, right? I've set Kallana's speed to 3000. I've set her to 1 million HP, and I've just given her 45k attack and defense. Nothing too unrealistic here in my team. And you can see here, because I had the speed at 3000, I also got the 160k HP, making my HP go to 1.1 million 660k, right? So that's perfect. That is what it says on the box, and that is what it's supposed to do. Okay, I have not put echo onto Kallana. I've put the echoes on everyone else, also on the defense, so they have all the echoes at maxed. Okay, now for this here I will start out with the S4, although it doesn't really matter, but I like to do just a tiny bit here of speed down. And we already decreased their speeds now here on the enemy team, and it's a copy of my team, so it should be the same speed, right? But you can already see here, Apsara is like 200 speed less. You can see the same with all the others here. So there, and it can stack 2 times, okay? So if we just put it onto like, let's just see here. So now we have this here. Obviously, if I had the gem, I would use the gem. A video will be coming later, by the way, about Crimson Glint. It's kind of broken, and I think you guys, even if you're free to play, to try to get a Crimson Glint, even at 0 star, it will help your account massive. Going to put a video out on that later. But anyways, here you can see already Kallana has her turn again, and if you see here, I'm using my S2 now, and I will also do the S4. Here you can see that she cleanses all the debuffs here, or the dot debuffs from Muringing, and she also does the S4, and she follows up with an basic attack as well. So imagine I had a Combat Vanguard aura on her, she would also be doing Combat Vanguard aura all the time, right? So let's just put it on auto here and see what happens here. The only one, as I said, that don't have an echo is Kallana here, is just to showcase that this team is super strong. And everyone else has 5-star maxed echoes here. Erato has her own echo, Marie, Nikki, Muringing, Apsara. And as you can see here, I've already killed Apsara on the enemy team here. Now, there is no cooldown on the passive effect from Kallana's passive, so every time she takes AoE damage, the entire team is going to be counter-attacking, and you can see here that we are doing a lot of like extra small damage and actually removing the Nikki passive effect. You can see here like it's night and day between these two teams here, and yeah, I think Kallana is super fun. Okay, now in 3 vs 3 I would put Kallana into the Anse and Hanya team for sure, to help with the like extra turn meter buff and stuff like that. Okay, so we can also try that if you want to see that. Right, so I'm back here. This is the Anse and Hanya team where I would put her in if it was a real fight here in a 3 vs 3, for example. So we start with the S4 here to boost some turn meter. Obviously the enemy is going to go right after because it's the same team as me. And you can see here that this time we do not have the dot, what's it called, from Marie, right? So Erato will be able to do some damage on our team here. Now it is turn for Kallana here. I'm going to use S4 and S2, and let's see if it can even do anything here. Let's see if we can remove. Yeah, so we kind of want to like the aim is to get Anse to use his like we want to have him attack, right? But doesn't really look that great so far. But let's see if we can do anything. Probably can't. But you like, this is the classic arena team. You probably wouldn't use your Anse team against that team, right? So it's just to showcase like how strong this team is, or with Kallana in it, how she's adding to some of the survivability. I've removed Agatha from this team and put Kallana in instead. Normally I use Agatha here in the space of, and it could also be that maybe Muringing needs to be removed from this team here. I'm not too sure, but this is kind of the team I would run in a 3 vs 3, right? So you can see here that is the other team is pretty tanky, but this team actually also pretty tanky here, and actually we just killed them. So let's just put it on auto, and obviously, as I said, no pets, no auras, no arcane gems. But yeah, let's just put this here for a second, and you can judge it by yourself if you think that Kallana could fit into this team as well. Okay, I think she can fit into at least 2 kind of PvP setups here, and this is important in the future when we get more attribute stealing heroes. She will be key. I think she will be one of the keys because she's a support, so, and she has a lot of good stuff going on, and she's kind of getting stronger. As long as the developers keep putting in attribute steal tags in the game, like the next limited hero maybe, or the mythic hero, then she's going to be a key role in that by buffing them somehow, right? Okay guys, so I think that is all I have to say about Kallana for now. Obviously I cannot test her in PvE here from the trial arena, but I think she can definitely jump into the team of what's it called, the poison team, and she will be replacing Magdi because she's doing pretty much the same thing anyways. She's not doing a shielding, but you don't really need the shielding. I think you have other shielding things, right? But the toxic gas debuff, consolidation debuff, all of the other stuffs, yeah, it's kind of the same, right? So she'll be replacing that 1-to-1. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you, bye.